is not a situation where you need to get stuff done early. With the vote about jungle, you definitely have the possibility. Graves' impact in the early game has been somewhat neutered. Of course, his late game is strong as always. Would love a Braum pick up here. That is really, really nice. So much utility, so much abilities that you can block. Oh, both of these comps, Valdez.
You know, we don't usually say we love the Braum, but in this case, it's great. You know, you have fantastic anti-engage, and Ezreal Braum, that classic lane, it's coming back. Ezreal came back first. Braum is following it up. We see it here once again.
And now that the dust has settled, I'd say I'd favor Damwon Kia's comp, because trying to play, again, a short-range comp with the exception of Deft into Damwon Kia's comp is not fun. There's a Sion, an Ezreal you're never going to get on top of, presumably. Barrel on Braum, which just tags everyone with an auto. If he goes Halo Blades Braum, I'd be particularly happy, but I don't know if we're there yet in Korea. And then you have Seraphine, which is self-explanatory. But Hanwha comp, at the very least, they have the opportunity, right? There is plenty of playmaking, there's plenty of backline threat, and there is, and we keep going back to this because the stat is just too insane, Deft on Jinx. I can hear Atlas, like, yell triumphantly somewhere.
Yeah, I'm sure that he will really enjoy the series and this game specifically. The Jinx on Deft, the ultimate classic. It is brought back, and you know, they're pulling out all the stops. Trying to go up against Damwon Kia. They went for an early game comp. It didn't work. Now they're offering a bit more scaling, a bit more team fight opportunity, and they're bringing back Deft's Jinx for this game. They gave a lot up to Damwon to make this happen. Not going to beat around the bush on that one. You look at the side of Damwon, and that is the most comfortable composition I've seen for Damwon in a long time. And we'll see if it works out, as we are going to hop onto the Rift here for game number 2. Hanwha this time on blue. So, of course, when you do lose, you get to choose your side. And Hanwha choose the blue side.
Yeah, Damwon Kia got this on red side as well.
Yes.
Which doesn't, that's not really how it's supposed to work. But we'll take it.
As you mentioned, you know, the priority on Deft's Jinx. It's
above all.
Very obvious. And Hanwha are aware of this as well.
I love these these kind of adaptations that we see, and this is a very necessary adaptation because, as I said, I would not have loved it if Hanwha just ran it back with another early game comp. Recognizing that Damwon Kia respect Deft's Jinx enough to preemptively pick it away for Ghost, whereas obviously he performed really well, but it's not a champion that you'd necessarily expect Damwon Kia to prioritize, right? To then first pick it. It is a gamble because you are now playing against what we perceive as one of the most broken combos here within the LCK, which is Seraphine Sion. And it's also Khan Sion, which is in a league of its own, with the bans that came through. And then we go back to the question, we saw the bait come out, right? They baited Sion, they banned Cho'Gath and Aatrox, two of the counters. Personally, bigger fan of the Cho'Gath, but both do work. Is there going to be payoff to that trap that they laid? Could you not just have banned Sion?
Yeah, I mean, it's like they saw them make the trap, and then they're like, okay, we're going to walk into it anyway, and then like a little squirrel pops out. Gragas is not very threatening, right? Now, it can go perfectly fine, evenly in the lane. Yes, it is totally fine.
It's a great pick.
You already saw the Seraphine. And everybody knows about the power of Sion Seraphine. Why don't you just take it away? That was I think the bigger priority that should have been shown in the draft.
In conjunction to that, this is a pick that we've not seen Canyon on for a while. It was basically permaban throughout the early LCK split, but Graves, as a whole, not even within the top 5 of junglers at the moment, I'd say, if you look at prior around the world.
Yeah.
However, it's Canyon. And then the rules change a little bit. They go in.
Okay, they're just trying to blow up the Seraphine here as fast as possible. And actually, Showmaker's going to do more damage to Toby than he took himself. And actually shells out a nice amount onto Arthur as well. But trying to put on pressure on the Showmaker, forcing his flash away, is going to be nice and take away a lot of priority from the Seraphine.
And this is a big advantage for Hanwha that we haven't really talked about, is their setup, their 2v2s, are insane. Arthur can go to every single lane, Khan is a little bit harder due to the fact that he's really tanky, but every lane has CC, has damage available, has setup, which makes it really easy for him to just run from lane to lane to lane, and as long as he doesn't fall too far behind Canyon in terms of farm, he will be able to reliably impact the map a lot more. And that is something that Damonkia's comp does kind of lack. Once this comp actually starts grouping, they're insane, right? This is an insanely strong, devastatingly powerful death ball, but it is a death ball. As long as they're individually spread around the map, doesn't have nearly the same level of threat that the 1v1s, 2v2s that Hanwha Live has available to them has.
Absolutely. And you can see that Chovy has pulled the lane again into that very comfortable spot. The thing about this is that Showmaker teleporting in, there is a little bit of danger about, you know, a potential follow-up gank, but not going to actually come to fruition here. As Vista and Deft, once again, hiding on Bush. See if they can make something happen here on a Ghost. That's who they're looking for, but the immediate jump back is pretty easy in response from the Ezreal.
They knew that, right? He saw Ghost, he was like, just walking in range and immediately walking backwards. Yeah, that's a 93% win rate over 43 games.
He has lost 3 games all time. Deft's career is like 8 years long, okay? Imagine playing 43 games, losing 3 of them over an 8 or so year span.
Over in multiple regions as well, right? It's not like he just played in the LCK, he played in the LPL as well.
In multiple scenarios.
It's insane.
You know, regular season games, playoff games, big moments, regular moments. Canyon is going to be spotted here, but can the Gragas get away is the question. The smoke screen is going to come in. The body slam is not going to get him any range here as Morgan will flash away, but Canyon is a couple of autos away. There's going to be the flash on in, and Khan does get the first blood, but the follow-up kill will go the way of Arthur, and now Canyon's going for a run through the enemy jungle here, as at least Showmaker has some good prio. That's the only thing really saving Canyon for sure, although Arthur is also making his way down. We might just see him execute himself on the turret, as that will be the play.
We'll be able to get away, but teleport.
Oh, the flash on in, and oh man, that's going to be Chovy picking up a huge kill on a Showmaker. Khan was teleporting in trying to save him, but that did not work this time around.
What? I don't even.
First time?
I don't even think that was. We need to see the replay, but I think there was actually an attempt at a setup play from Damonkia. I think they were trying to force something on Chovy. Oh my god. Well, I was getting excited about this game, and so far it's delivering. We've had executes, we've had top lane plays, and this is just a pretty clear setup coming through. Morgan actually plays this really nicely. I feel like maybe if you flash away a little bit earlier there from the end of the line, you might be fine. Khan actually getting the kill there with his shield to make sure that the auto actually comes through, otherwise Graves obviously is the risk of his autos going into the turret. But that does mean that you're in a bit of a pickle, as no, you are right, it is in fact Showmaker trying to get away, then the teleport saving him, and then Showmaker going like, actually, no.
Yeah.
And that is just insane. Doesn't even need Abscond on a duct. Straight up kills him, and that is the punish for the flash that was forced earlier, so Arthur's early gank paying off right there for Chovy.
Yeah. And if there's one thing you want to do, it's to not underestimate Chovy and his ability to turn a 1v2 scenario into a straight-up kill. He just makes him look silly that time around. You can't afford to have that happen if you're Domlin and you don't want to get Chovy fed. In almost every game that Hanwha Life played up against Nongshim, Chovy was getting early kills, he was getting stacks on the Dark Steel, and he was oftentimes starting and just scaling out of control. So Domlin are going to have to try to put a cap on this, as we're going to see the red buff smited away here by Arthur, a really nicely timed steal. And this is the guy that watched the game, came on in as the relief jungler, and is doing very well so far.
And this is good. Hanwha Live are pushing the advantages that their comp allows them to. But a crucial difference to last game is that even though the Damwon Kia comp is insane, you can actually fight late game with this Hanwha Life comp. You do have a hyper carry in the form of Death. Chovy is finding openings and kills as a possible fight around Rift Herald here.
Canyon is going to get jumped on, and he gets a lot of healing, but that is just way too much out of Chovy and Arthur. I think Canyon not taking that as seriously as he should have, and he gets punished here on the Rift Heralds.
That's a successful
And it's not over yet.
God.
Chovy is still putting on the pressure onto Showmaker, trying desperately to drag his team over the line.
Well, I'm starting to get excited about this. After game number 1, this was looking like a quick 3-0, and we need to be careful not to get overexcited just because of, as we said, this is a death ball coming from Damwon Kia. They're not supposed to excel here, but what we are seeing from them is that they're playing disrespectful, right? Kenyon is just starting up the Rift Herald there without the rest of his team, and then that's one thing, but instead of just quick throwing over the wall, he also goes and looks for a play on his opponent. It backfires tremendously. And if you get into a position where the Damwon Kia comp is actually at a sizable deficit going into the mid game, your team fights become a whole lot harder. And that's not where you want to be, because you have reliable front line, right? You have plenty of opportunities here to get stuff done. Canyon, yeah, he opts into this.
He dashed over the wall, so he didn't really have an easy escape.
And then it's a nice attempt as Canyon gets the threat smite there, so I guess that is something that you get out of that situation. Not really what you're looking for. As you give over a kill to the Volibear, it's going to be very happy with that, who haven't really talked about this yet, but has also not gone for press the attack, which in terms of immediate dueling and damage amplification is really good. But gone for the Predator, which just allows you to always get on top of your target, which against an Asriel and against the Graves that's going to be trying to kite away from you are quite like. Now, what does this actually mean, these leads that we're starting to see crop up? I think the Volibear leads is good, but it's mainly about how fed can Chovy get, right? Because this Sylas is a pick where if you get too far ahead, it is a champion where if you can stretch the mechanical limits of what he can do, combined with, honestly, how many ultimates are strong? I'd say 3, 4 out of 5 on the side of Damwon Kia. I think the Asriel one isn't great, but Encore, self-explanatory. Khans can have a lot of value. Barrels is insane. You can do so much things that other champions just can't. And this is the player that is supposed to be the hard carry for Hanwha Life. And we've seen him do it again and again and again. Need we remind you of the Yone games? I don't think we do, because I think,
I think everybody remembers those.
Yeah. So we'll still have those burned into our eyes. And so will the opponents of Hanwha Life, if they're not careful here. The pace now slowing down a little bit, and I think that's good for Damwon Kia.
Yeah, they don't really want to be taking early skirmishes and getting behind, of course. Just trying to scale as much as possible with the team fighting death ball comp, as you mentioned. Still going up against the Jinx, and now Beryl is caught. Magnet Storm is going to get down as he tries to ult to survive, and you know what? He actually will. That's a lot of damage now coming out from Canyon, but again, Chovy is there. At least Canyon is going to be able to flash away from that one, but Chovy just seems to be everywhere. Damwon cannot avoid him.
Beautiful play that from Hanwha Life. The setup is really good. Cancel comes through there, and they just need to clear the wave. Those plates are fine. You will be able to trade up a couple of plates in the mid lane, so it's going to be 2 for 2. Not the worst of scenarios, as long as you don't die here. You need to be respectful. That smoke screen from Kane having a big impact. Chovy!
Here he is again, and he is going to land it. Once again, lots of damage on a Showmaker, but you can see charmed under turret. Chovy will not be able to continue on that attack.
There is a beat drop available there. You are dead. That is, you know, we like to see you solo carry Chovy. We'd rather not see you teleport in and then get solo killed, but presumably if Showmaker has more mana, Chovy doesn't go in there, right? Knowing the limits very well, and it's necessary as well, because this comp from Hanwha Life, with the exception of Dev 2 in the late game, can just by staying alive kind of have impact and win fights by himself, just by autoing as much as he can, maybe getting decided. Chovy is very much going to be in the thick of things. Sylas is a very binary champion, and once you get fed, it looks amazing. Kingsley provides so much value, but it's also easy to get over-enthusiastic. This Ghost gets away from the turret here.
Arthur is flashing in. The exhaust is going to be used, but there is seemingly no escape, and even Ghost is going to try to flash away, gets punished after that, and Arthur is just making plays. This guy is 3-0.
Yeah, the Volibear pick coming in huge, and Arthur, this man is maybe the hottest sub we've seen so far. Comes in and has thus far smashed it every single time. Kia tried to trade on the top side of the map, but it's a kill. Going over. Ghost uses his flash as well as the W from Arthur picks him up. That's first Turbot. Going to the one person you're not allowed to get fed this game, which is Deft's. I guess Chovy's also in the game. There's not just one person you don't want to get fed. Let's be honest. But Deft's Jinx getting fed is also real bad. And Hanwha Life, more so than I expected after their first game, are using the skirmishing and the pressure that their composition have to really punish Kia for what is, while a strong draft, once you get to the teamfight stage, is a greedy draft. And Kia, they're not playing respectful.
They're not. I mean, Beryl is just coming on in here trying to protect the control ward when they do not have prio from mid lane, and Arthur is here.
That smoke screen from Canyon, like, otherwise I think that would have been even worse. As here, not flashing this as Ghost I think is fine. Never mind, he can't even, because he gets hit by the stun from a track repel into the knockup. Really well played from Vista there, who also had a great game one. I might remind you on the rel, looks really good. Yes, the engages didn't work out, but the engages that happened were really good.
Yeah.
And Kia, 2K goal behind at this point in time is not something we're used to seeing from them. But I'm also not getting ahead of, no one needs to get ahead of themselves, because this is still Kia, and we have seen them at deficits before and still clutch it out. And if there's something that this comp can do, it's that.
Yeah, especially in 5v5 team fights. I think as long as they stop getting isolated, and that's not easy either, because Chovy has been very active around the map, as has been Arthur. I think the two of them have been kind of the duo that's carrying right now, and making so many of the plays that have gained this early lead for Hanwha Life. And if they just keep that up,
Thank you, Jonas.
it's going to be nice.
I agree. I just wanted, that was really important.
Yes.
A sign.
You got to kill Scuttle Crab.
You gotta get the scuttles, man. Otherwise, the enemy jungler gets them. That's not allowed.
Sion, turns out he's very good at taking the Scuttle Crab.
It's just one Q. It's half the health gone.
Yeah. And now we're just kind of posturing here in the mid lane. The second Rift Herald available. Chovy going to steal that Braum ultimate. And Domlin are actually considering fighting this one. As, okay, everything is going to miss Beryl at least. So Everfrost now down for about 5 seconds. The cooldown pretty insane, especially on 11-6. And here comes the teleport for the engage. It's good from Vista. Beryl in the front line trying to keep everybody alive, but Canyon now going to be isolated, but they can't kill him. They cannot kill Canyon. And Chovy is not doing enough damage. Khan is tanking everything from this Silas. At this point in time, that's going to be 2 kills going the way of Domlin. And that's why you say you never count this team out.
Because going into this, I'm like, why are they trying to contest? They don't need to. It's just a second Rift Herald. The blades are gone. You don't really care about this. But Kia sense an opportunity. This extended fight, though.
Ooh, Chovy's thinking about it. But again, Khan is just so tanky that you got to be careful. This is still 3v5, 3v4, I suppose, before Canyon gets here. They're going to get the kill onto the Sion. And it actually does end up working out, I suppose, here for Hanwha Life. Is Chovy even going to get his revenge on the zombie?
And in the end, that's still a favorable trade for Kia, although Hanwha Life taking risks here.
Yeah, they're trying to extend their tempo advantage here. The Everfrost not going to get anything done. Nobody blows any summoners or anything like that, so Kia totally fine.
What a beautiful game number 2 does for Valdez. The gold lead for Hanwha Life is now basically gone. It's still 300-400 gold, but it used to be way more, and it boils down to disengage. When disengage happens, I don't think they know that Khan is teleporting. He wasn't in vision, so all of a sudden they're fighting from a deficit. Deft is not actually able to do meaningful damage within this fight, because Hanwha Life was engaging through that choke point, and if Deft tries to walk through there with the death wall already formed by Kia, you run the risk of getting encored and then you just die, so he needs to play respectful. And then, yeah, this extended fight, Khan gets hit by, I think, walks into Chompers here? Yeah, walks into Chompers, so he didn't even need to die there. And then it would have been completely fine.
He's so big he can't see underneath himself, so he didn't see the small Chompers there. Sion's like about 20 times the size of the Chompers. Can't really blame him. You got a lot of teleport wards here, and one will be utilized as Vista is looking for it. The knockup will be flashed. The Encore gets Ghost here, and he will be immediately blown up as now they're trying to get on top of Barrel. It will not be able to, but that is a nice pick here right before the Dragon does spawn.
And normally as Hanwha Life, it's like, is it worth it? Force this much just for a kill? But the Drake is up, and getting a second Drake here, hopefully it will be a Mountain Soul again. Otherwise, as Hanwha Life, you're going to feel a little bit less happy about this play.
Yeah.
Regardless though, getting yourself up to two Drakes, picking up a Drake that's always useful in the form of the Ocean Drake is, it's looking promising, and it will be a Cloud Soul.
Oh.
I knew it was too good to be true.
Yeah, I feel like, you know, it's kind of just basic thing. We have to get one Cloud Soul per series. It's like we're sponsored by Cloud Soul or something. So thank you, Cloud Soul, for your contribution. Very sarcastic on that one. Yeah, the Mountain Soul would have made it really interesting, you know, because of, you know, Scion Seraphine obviously utilizes it in an insane fashion, but also Hanwha Life can, so they would be fighting over those fiercely. But instead, the Cloud Soul will be interesting to see how much pressure we see on those Drakes.
And we see that Hanwha Life's team can very much still win, and there's basically two ways. There we go. That's the utility of that Scion ultimate.
You know,
doesn't know.
Showmaker, yeah. And here we go. The cask does come in, and Chovy is already up here on the top side. Everfrost is going to get the slow, and see you later. Chovy is here again, and now he is 4-0 in this game. He's kind of running away with it once again on the Sylas.
Coming into today, our question was, can Chovy solo carry games against Damwon Kia? I think the answer is still no, but if you give Chovy a couple of teammates, then it becomes a completely different situation, right? And you got to give credit to the rest of Hanwha Life as well. Alpha's impact on the map has been impeccable. It's Morgan that actually sets up that play there by sneaking into vision and making sure that Chovy can pick up the kill, right? And now with all these augmentations, we see a 1500 gold lead available here. There goes Ezreal really far behind as well. And there is still this death ball, and we saw in that earlier team fight. I am never going to count out Damwon Kia until this game is actually won, because their team fighting is absurdly good. But this is a Hanwha Life that I'm really happy to see. I was afraid after that first game that this was going to be, you know, the classic LCK run it back with like a slightly different angle, but basically the same draft, and then lose that as well. And then maybe in game 3 try something. As Khan finds a flank here.
Flank would be pretty interesting. They're gonna find Vista, but that's not exactly the guy you were looking for. Has a lot of damage though on a Chovy in the front line, but here comes Arthur trying to create some space. Chovy is gonna get dived on by Canyon, but he's got another stopwatch, and there's the Encore, and the blow up from the graves takes down that Sylas and takes away the shutdown. As Damwon Kia do it again, they find an opportunity, and now they have their eyes set on the Baron.
And the words haven't left my mouth of Damwon Kia find an out-of-nothing team fight to all of a sudden get complete control of the Baron pit. Alpha isn't there. They can't actually contest this.
No, I mean, they can't do anything. Deft is just attacking the mid lane turret. That's all he can do. I mean, and Baron will go the way of Damwon, at least to get the turret, I suppose.
The one angle is if Deft has ultimate, and you go for it, and the uncapped Jinx finds the steal somehow, but now they're going in here.
This is it's not what you're looking for. It almost looks like they're trying to bait, almost trying to give them the benefit of the doubt here, because both Chovy and Arthur are very far behind. But I suppose with the teleport potential, they were thinking about it.
You got the Raptor though. You got the big chicken. That's something. As
got him.
He was ready.
Thanks, Jonas Strong.
I'm glad we get those little moments, you know? We need to take a breather from all the action that's happening in this game. And it is an action-packed game. And here in, how many 80 carries? I personally dubbed this the rumor zone. Like, how many 80 carries have we seen getting flanked here from a bot side play? This time it's Chovy and Daft. And yes, the stalling is there for a little bit with Canyon and Khan being such a threatening force. There's nothing you can do. Beautifully timed Anchor as well there from Showmaker. There's no way that Chovy ever gets out. And it's really that easy. One play, and Damwon Kia are back in the driver's seat. Now they have Baron available. Sure, Chovy can push on his own, but I can assure you that Damwon Kia will push a lot faster. Next, Dragon can go the way of them, and normally I'm not the biggest fan of cooldown reduction, but look at what Damwon Kia has in terms of ultimates. You're like, well, actually.
Let's take a look at this, because we have about a bajillion teleport wards here. We've got a control ward even by the Baron, or by the Dragon. And you can see that Chovy's just waiting in the base, thinking about how he's going to take this teleport, and is going to be in the lane. Damwon able to back off on this one. So they do spot him, so the teleport not going to be too efficient. He does get in the play at least. And now they have first track on the mid lane, actually. So they're going to look for a push. As Damwon Kia seems like they don't want to allow them to do this. Khan, here he comes, going to be able to zone them away with just the one ultimate ability. As HLE, at least they're buying a lot of time here against the Baron of Damwon Kia. Still thinking about an engage. We have Barrel's ultimate stolen now by Chovy. Khan still frontlining. He puts himself in between the Seraphine and the Ezreal. That's all he's got to do.
And here we see the problem of trying to kind of poke and outrage your way slowly into Seraphine comps. It doesn't work, because she will sustain you up with Moonstaff. And there we go!
I feel like I just saw the death of the Cloud Drake flash before my eyes.
If Kenyon doesn't dodge that, if he gets hit by that, that's it. Oh, right, like that's Drake gone 100%. Death.
Close. But again, it is just the Cloud Drake. And this is more about this huge Baron push that we have coming in here. HLE thinking about engaging. And in fact, because of the threat of Chovy and his flank from the top side, they are going to respect it with the Baron running out. Damwon will look to get it back in and buy some more items.
Because while Damwon's incredibly strong deathball comp is now decisively online, as we have seen, right? Canyon playing his Graves like he always has. Even though his early game was a little bit rough, his pressure is insane. Ghost has hit his 2-item spike, will be presumably building towards a Cyrilda's Grudge, which is going to help him out a lot. Showmaker online. There is still the risk of backline dive. There is still the risk of Chovy coming in, finding any of the big ultimates and blowing up. And that's why Damwon Kia needs to play this as respectful as humanly possible. And that's why we see them every time that they're moving up and they see HLE move even a little bit forward, they back off.
Yeah, it's very true. Just ultimate respect being shown by the side of DK. Does, of course, give a lot of time for Def to farm up, get 3 items. He's getting close, as we can see. And we'll see if, you know, eventually in these late game team fights, if he's going to have enough damage to chew through Seraphine Scion to potentially pick off some of the squishier carries on the side of Damwon Kia. It's not going to be easy. You're going to have to try to warp some team fights into your advantage, you know, get some more Sylas flanks and stuff like that. Otherwise, still favoring Damwon's comp in that sense.
I think it's stronger in terms of outright front to back. And that is why, as we pointed out, HLE will always be looking for those flanks, right? And it's also why I really like the fact that Damwon Kia went for a flank, because you'd expect the Sign to just charge down the mid lane, but instead he was looking for a side angle. And that's something that's what my friend is Chovy.
Hey, here we go again. And of course, we're looking for the encore here. Chovy able to steal that one this time around, but again, Damwon Kia will not get taken off guard. They will not be caught off guard, and no one will get flanked. No one will be killed. The side push for Khan felt annoying at first, but now it's actually becoming a bit threatening. They will have to respond to that by sending at least Morgan down.
One upside that you have here as HLE is that later in the game, Damwon Kia's damage profile gets a little bit more one-sided. As the Seraphine, of course, it will still deal some damage, but with the build, it's much more about the utility that it provides. Unfortunately for them, Cyrilda's Grudge will come through. Canyon already has his Lord Dominic's finished. These 280 carries are still going to chew for everyone on the side of HLE, as neither Morgan in of itself didn't get fed to the point where we see that Gragas kind of become a raid boss. Khan is just getting free health as the game progresses. And then we have Alpha, who, while having a really good early game, has kind of run into the issue that Volibear has, which is later in the game, you go in and either the play works out or it doesn't, right? And that's basically all you can really do, as Chovy keeps looking for these angles but needs to really be respectful.
Yeah, oh man, he is so far up. This is a big problem. Here comes Canyon and Khan trying to get on top of this level 16 Silas. The flash comes out, but the damage is so huge from Canyon. Wasn't enough though, the Kingslayer. A lot of damage actually coming out now, but it's 4-on-1. This barrel comes up, and he is not able to trade back even a kill. Ghost feels like unintentionally gets hit in the face with a rocket, but now that Chovy is gone, yet again, Damwon will look to make a play onto this Baron. Take a look at Depth. He's trying desperately to do some damage onto the Scion, and Khan is just laughing at him. Just way too tanky at this point in time. Has no rocket available this time either, and Beryl is just zoning everybody away. That's going to be the Baron now in the hands of Damwon for the second time this game.
And the need to carry becomes too heavy to bear for Chovy as he gets picked off in the side lane. Way too far forward.
Hey,
alive?
Trying to get on top of Beryl. But again, Chovy's not here. He has teleport in 5 seconds, but again, just trying to zone them away, avoid some backs so maybe they can get the dragon.
I think you can get Soul Point here. I don't know, as Damwon Kia, if you really want to try and go for this, there is no vision whatsoever. They will looking towards it.
They are,
teleporting in.
There's no vision here. Khan is looking to engage by himself, and he is tanky enough to actually just walk at the enemy team and zone them all away. Vista has a really nice angle on the top side, but Beryl and Khan in the front. The damage, though, not enough. That's going to be the smite going in, but now Damwon Kia looking for the fight. Nice knockup from Chovy, but the damage is pretty huge. Vista trying to get the engage on the Showmaker, but he's incredibly safe, and so is Ghost. As Chovy now trying to go 1v4 here, but he is going to be taken out as well. And Khan is still alive after tanking 3 people's worth of damage and death damage for the entire fight. That is going to be a huge win in the team fight for Damwon. Might even be the ace as they are trying to take down Morgan here, and they should be able to, but they will be looking for the push as well to at least take an inhibitor.
There's no team that team fights as well as Damwon Kia within the LCK. You cannot give them this comp anymore. I thought Death's Jinx would be enough. It's not. You see the amount of limit testing. How clean they play these fights. They lost no one. No one.
0.
It's a 30-minute fight against a Jinx with 3 items. How do you get away with that?
All right, let's see this, though. Arthur takes in a huge amount of damage. They're just desperately trying to end it. Damwon could attack the Nexus, but they want the kills instead. Did they wait too long is the question. Chovy's up here. That's a really big encore as well, as now they're just going to hit the Nexus, and Damwon will take the game. Just playing with their